On the afternoon of April 26, 2003, Aron Ralston was canyoneering alone through Bluejohn Canyon in eastern Wayne County, Utah, just south of the Horseshoe Canyon unit of Canyonlands National Park. During his descent into the lower stretches of the Slot Canyon, a suspended boulder dislodged. It first smashed against his left hand and then crushed his right hand, pinning it against the canyon wall. Ralston had not informed anyone of his hiking plans, nor did he have any way to call for help. Assuming that he would die without intervention, he spent 5 days rationing his small amount of remaining water, approximately 350 milliliters, and slowly eating his remaining food, 2 burritos, while repeatedly trying to extricate his arm. His efforts were futile, as he was unable to free his arm from the 800-pound chalk stone. After 3 days of trying to lift and chip away at the boulder, the dehydrated and delirious Ralston prepared to amputate his trapped arm in order to escape. After experimenting with tourniquets and making exploratory superficial cuts to his forearm, he realized, on the 4th day, that in order to free his arm, he would have to cut through the bone. His available tools were insufficient to do so. After running out of food and water on the 5th day, Ralston decided to drink his own urine. He carved his name, date of birth, and presumed date of death into the sandstone canyon wall and videotaped his last goodbyes to his family. He did not expect to survive the night, but as he attempted to stay warm, he began hallucinating. He describes having had a vision of himself playing with a future child while missing part of his right arm. Ralston credited his hallucination to giving him the belief that he would live. When he woke on the 6th day, he discovered his arm had begun to decompose due to lack of circulation, and he desperately felt the need to tear it off. Ralston then had an epiphany. He could break his radius and ulna using torque against his trapped arm. He did so, then amputated his forearm with his multi-tool, using the dull 2-inch 50-millimeter knife and pliers for the tougher tendons. The painful process took an hour, during which he used tubing from a camelback as a tourniquet, taking care to leave major arteries until last. The manufacturer of the multi-tool was never named, but Ralston said it was not a Leatherman, but what you'd get if you bought a $15 flashlight and got a free multi-use tool. After freeing himself, Ralston climbed out of the Slot Canyon in which he had been trapped, rappelled down a 65-foot sheer wall, then hiked out of the canyon. He was 8 miles from his vehicle and had no phone. However, after 6 miles of hiking, he encountered a family on vacation from the Netherlands, Eric and Monique Meyer and their son Andy, who gave him food and water and hurried to alert the authorities. Ralston had feared he would bleed to death. He had lost 40 pounds, including 25% of his blood volume. Rescuers searching for Ralston, alerted by his family that he was missing, had narrowed the search down to Canyonlands, and he was picked up by a helicopter in a wide area of the canyon. He was rescued approximately 4 hours after amputating his arm. Ralston later said that if he had amputated his arm earlier, he would have bled to death before being found, while if he had not done it, he would have been found dead in the Slot Canyon days later. His severed hand and forearm were retrieved from under the boulder by park authorities. According to television presenter Tom Brokaw, it took 13 men, a winch, and a hydraulic jack to move the boulder, so that Ralston's arm could be removed. His arm was then cremated and its ashes given to Ralston. He returned to the accident scene with Brokaw and a camera crew 6 months later, on his 28th birthday, to film a Dateline NBC special about the accident in which he scattered the ashes of his arm there where he said they belong,